Everyone, Amar back again with another Doo-Doo Brown series in this one. So in last week's episode, we were able to defeat the Denver Broncos, which are led by Devante Adams and Daniel Jones. They turned out to be a more difficult team than what we had originally thought. The game scoreline is not technically indicative of how that game turned out. We ended up escaping with a 51-24 victory over the Denver Broncos. But in this one, we have one of our biggest challenges as of yet. We are facing off against a extremely talented Pittsburgh Steelers team. So let's go ahead and look at our mock 2 draft really quick before we go into anything. So I don't think that we actually end up picking until, I want to say, 32nd. Yep. So it has us projected at picking a left edge. I'll tell you that right now, we are going to be trading up in order to acquire Keon Godfrey. He is going to be the end-all be-all quarterback for this franchise. I don't care if it's going to take us a couple of first-round draft picks in order to acquire him. He is our guy. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek over here at the game preview before we go ahead and jump into some gameplay here. So if you look on the left-hand side, you can see that Tyrann Mathieu, Jeffrey Simmons, and Justin Herbert are the premier talents. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe that Josh Jacobs is also the running back on this team. They also have Laviska Shenault, Cole Kmet, and I want to say Jack Doyle are some of the most notable people on this team. I mean, all things being considered, though, I think that we have a more talented team, both offensively and defensively. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into some gameplay. So here we are at lovely First Energy Stadium, facing off in the in-division game here, playing for the leader in the division. We are currently 7-0, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are 5-1. This is bound to be our best game of the season, and we do have to play them twice. So this could be foreshadowing for a late year game. Honestly, if we go ahead and put Pittsburgh Steelers in their place now, we could very well end up clinching before we have to play them again later on in the season, which is by and far the best solution there. They have pretty much no one open except for slants across the middle. I am willing to go ahead and get beat on slants. Slants are one of those routes in football that are really hard to shut down. It's really dependent on how good of coverage the DB is going ahead and pushing forward. But Josh Jacobs just did a Tyreek Hill number 2, saying like deuces, I'm gone, and then gets creamed. For those of you that don't know, dude, the free agency has been lit. So Deshaun Watson ended up, as of the time of recording this today, he ended up signing with the Cleveland Browns, and Baker Mayfield is now on the trading block. So I don't know where Baker Mayfield is going to end up. It seems like the Indianapolis Colts would be a really good fit. But all things being considered, I mean, I think that the Cleveland Browns gave up a little bit too much in order to acquire Deshaun Watson. I don't think that they were that desperate at the quarterback position to abandon ship on the Baker Mayfield train. I don't think Baker Mayfield is, a super talent in the NFL by any means. The guy averages, I think, like 200 yards passing a game. It's terrible. But giving up 3 first-round picks and a pair of second-round picks is what I think the deal actually is. Giving up that much for Deshaun Watson, who hasn't played football since 2020 or maybe 2019. I don't remember the year specifically. Probably 2020. Dude, I mean, that's a lot of draft capital right there, man. Like, I don't know. That's tough. I mean, the Cleveland Browns are a very good team, and I think that he's going to shine in Cleveland. Don't get me wrong by any means, especially with the signing of Amari Cooper. It's going to just transcend this offense. But I think it's kind of a disjustice to... I wanted to target Y over on the outside there, but by that time came, I was already in front of the line of scrimmage, so Big Ben ended up using that as an opportunity to show off his hurdles. But yeah, I think that Cleveland is going to be the team to beat in this division, for sure. They are going to be extremely talented. Don't hear what I'm not saying. But dude, giving up that much draft capital, you better be getting the absolute best of the best in return. Deshaun Watson is gonna be a very he's gonna be a game changer for this team, especially if he can stay healthy. I know that there's allegations that went out, and then those got, I don't know what the proper terminology is for it, but they got dropped basically. And oh man, I had a touchdown there, but Raheem Mostert just lost his balance. Raheem Mostert's kind of running all over this defense right now. But yeah, Deshaun Watson kind of had all those charges dropped, or I'm not a legality person, so I have no idea what the actual terminology is for this. But the charges are no longer against him, except for the civil suit and stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of distraction is what I'm trying to get at. And so giving up that much talent with all of the first round picks, the second round picks, that's expecting a guy to come in and play lights out. And to be honest, man, a guy who hasn't played since 2020, it's going to be really hard for him to put all the bullshit aside and focus on football. There's going to be a lot of people, if he has a bad game or two to start off the season, if they start off 0-2 and Deshaun Watson looks rusty out there, there's going to be a storm in Cleveland. People are going to be wanting the front office's head. They're going to be wanting Deshaun Watson's head. This is a team that's going to be super talented. You're going to have Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper, Myles Garrett, Deshaun Watson. I mean, this team is going to be nasty. John Johnson, Denzel Ward. Dude, this team is going to be disgusting. So if they come out and they can't seem to figure it out, it's going to be a bit of a blow from a financial aspect, as well as just from a city believing in this talent. They are investing in the long haul in Deshaun Watson, and I don't know if he's going to be the answer. I could be eating crow right now come regular season. He turns out to be the big guy for him. Sure, if that happens, I'll go ahead and make a video saying how I'm so sorry, Deshaun Watson, for trying to be realistic. But that's something that you need to consider when you're dealing with a guy who hasn't played football in a while. But those are just some of the thoughts I had really quickly before we went ahead and continued down the rest of the free agency and start focusing on today's video. Devante Adams ended up getting traded, I think it was yesterday, to the Vegas Raiders. That is going to be an interesting team. I think Derek Carr is a very good quarterback. All things considered, I don't know if... I'm skeptical. Okay, so I don't know how Devante Adams is going to do without Aaron Rodgers. I think Hunter Renfrow is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, especially paired with a super talent like Darren Waller at the tight end position, and then Josh Jacobs in the backfield. I mean, that team is very strong. Don't get me wrong. Very strong. Don't get me wrong. But Devante Adams is... Again, they kind of sold out to get him. They spent a lot of money. And to be fair, Green Bay really couldn't afford to take on Aaron Rodgers' salary, as well as offering a competitive salary to Devante Adams. Something had to give. So by that means, I mean, I totally get it. I understand it was just it's a tough let go. I am a Bears fan, so it is kind of nice to see at least one of the two-headed monsters leave Green Bay. By two-headed monsters, of course, I'm referring to Aaron Rodgers and Devante Adams, who has absolutely owned Chicago. I mean, even he said it, right? But yeah, it's just... I don't know how to feel about it. It doesn't feel good, but I get it. And my team, the Chicago Bears, man, they are just trying to get rid of any type of hope at the 2022 season. They are literally getting rid of everyone. They sold Khalil Mack for a bucket of footballs. They got rid of, I should say, of Allen Robinson, who I'm sure was jumping hula hoops over the fact of getting out of Chicago's absolute wormhole at the quarterback position. So little frustrated with that. I think that Allen Robinson is going to do big things in LA, but I am a little bitter about the whole situation. I think that he got overpaid while in Chicago, but I don't think that was all of his fault. I think that there was just a big problem with getting him the football, and I really fear that Darnell Mooney is going to suffer from the same fate as Allen Robinson. But that's enough about my take on free agency and stuff. I don't want to go too depth on that, but it's been a fun one so far. Ooh, that's going to be a pass, roughing the passer, but I mean, I had to, man. It was so juicy, man. Yeah, I knew it. As soon as I saw Myles Garrett running up the middle, I'm like, Justin Herbert is either going to get a sack or he's going to be limping off of the field. That might just be like the inner defensive player in me that's, I want to get him, you know. It wasn't smart, obviously, because it gave him a first down here inside of their half of the field. Oh my God, Josh Jacobs absolutely gets undercut there by a backup Woodyard who is in place for the broken finger of Dante Hightower. I don't think that's super realistic that a linebacker would be missing games with a broken finger. I understand that it hurts. By no means am I trying to downplay the fact that a broken finger can hinder a person's ability to play the game of football, but he's a linebacker. He's not a wide receiver. So typically in those situations, if it's contacting, they'll just put like a big ass like cast on his hand, and then like you saw what they did with like Jason Pierre-Paul. He's got like a club. I mean, and I don't mean that in a bad way because that was firework incident. He actually kind of does have a club now. Wow. That is short by a lot. That was a putrid attempt. Is that Cody Parkey? No, I didn't. You know what I'm saying. No. But yeah, I mean, like, dude, Dante Hightower could for sure be in this game if this was a realistic game. I don't know why I keep stumbling over my words here, but I'm going to be targeting OBJ here on this seam route. Wow. What a timed route there from OBJ. Hated to see him get hurt in the Super Bowl. He's literally cried his way so far into the NFL to try and get a Super Bowl victory, and then he finally gets there and he ends up getting hurt. It was a non-contact type injury, so of course you're thinking the worst. That's going to be intentional grounding. Oh, no. So that's actually a really lucky situation to not get intentional grounding there. But we take those, you know? Obviously, the receiver was in the vicinity. I was just more worried about him being outside the inside the tackle box. But yeah, let's go ahead and see if Raheem Mostert can power forward. It looks like he has enough, and Tomlinson is down for Pittsburgh. Here we go, running a nice little favorite play here on the channel of these play action pass where the X wide receiver goes ahead and gets behind all of the DBs. If he does, he might be in the corner of the end zone, falling down, and he is in for the touchdown. OBJ with yet another touchdown on the season, his 5th overall. We extend this lead to a 21-0 lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to be honest, I thought this game would be a little bit closer. Feel free to add your opinion down in the comments about what you would prefer that I do in the future, but I think that it makes for good content to maybe up the sliders a bit and make these games a little bit more challenging. I think I'm kind of having my way with most of the teams here. I mean, you've seen the score lines. I shouldn't be scoring like 45 plus, even with a super talented team like I have. It's only going to get worse as I get better and better talent. I mean, I have Ben Roethlisberger at the quarterback position right now, and he's not it. So, I mean, yeah, like, I think that I'm going to end up beefing up the sliders here in Season 2. I'm obviously not going to change anything here mid-season. I don't think that's fair from the viewer standpoint, as well as just from like a competition standpoint. There's not a whole lot to be gained by just like switching mid-season. But I think I'm going to go like on the all Madden setting. I don't think I'm that good, so I think that would actually give me a run for my money, probably have like a more realistic 3-4 loss of a season rather than starting out 7-0 pretty handedly. I think I'm good enough to win the majority of games, especially if I like went on to head-to-head online. I think that I would do pretty well. All things being considered, though, this seems like baby mode, you know? Like, I've kind of had my way. I can do pretty much anything that I want. And the teams have been really struggling to keep up in some of these games. Myles Garrett off to the side. Sorry, my voice is getting a little raspy here, but yeah, we could just push through those, you know? I'm going to switch over here into a man blitz. I tried to switch on to a different user there, but my guy ended up getting switched on to the guy who was being blocked, so that's just Madden for you. Let's go ahead and get Khalil Mack here on a rush. He's open now, but this guy is open on the seam. Who's number 11 for the team? Is that AJ Brown? Yep, AJ Brown, their PA just said it. That guy is freakishly talented if he stays healthy. I had him on my fantasy team, and it seemed like every freaking game the guy was injured. Ed Oliver ends up getting injured on the play, even though he looks like he is the epitome of what health is. So it'll be interesting to see what he ends up having excuse to come out of this game for. I'm going to go ahead and run with that. Oh my god, should be a pick right there by 21. Who is 21? Dislocated elbow. That's good. That's what you want to see, right? Who is 21 on this team? I want to say it was Justin Simmons. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Bang! Absolutely poo-pooed on, bruh. They're going to go ahead and line up in field goal formation. I would have to imagine they had a pretty putrid attempt at a field goal last possession here. I think if I'm Pittsburgh, I just put my money where my mouth is, and I try to score here. This is a divisional game. This is for the top of the division. And settling for 3 is probably analytically the better choice, but let's be honest, momentum is a real thing in the game of football. That is the human element to the game, and that can turn the tide. A 3-point possession is nothing when it bled off like 3 minutes of the clock. I get ball in the second half. I have 2 minutes here to march down the field and score again. That doesn't make a ton of sense from a coaching perspective, to give me the football back, be able to march down the field, get the football back again, and now you're looking at probably what will be a 34-0 or 34-3 deficit. Go ahead and kick your field goals, though, buddy. Hayden Hurst gets over on the outside there. He is a star dev player. I think that he is going to be a super talent on this team. He's only 24, I want to say. So he's very young. He's super versatile. He's not that fast, though. So I mean, he's a tight end. You know, it comes with the territory. Like, you can't have the world's fat. It's a pick. Oh my god! I thought for sure that guy was going to undercut that route. I've seen the animation so many times where that ball gets picked by the DB. I really need to stop throwing that football, but I just have an itch apparently where I just can't help myself. Raheem Mostert is fast. Get to the outside, big dog. Big Ben out here doing 90% completion percentage thus far. Couldn't ask for more out of the 15-year vet. I have no idea how actual long he's been in the NFL, but it's been a minute. Let's go ahead and run this ball to the left-hand side here, see if we can cut back. We can. Raheem Mostert's got to be faster than that. That was a very good cut. However, he wasn't able to accelerate out to the outside like we would have liked. I'm going to go ahead and run to the weak side, see what happens. We got blockers. Raheem Mostert getting upfield for another first down. We got 30 seconds after the run off the clock. We are down to under 30 seconds here in the second quarter. We're going to go ahead and put both of our guys on slants and see who can get open. I want to say OBJ's got this. Oh, nice PI. We're going to be sitting on the 1-yard line here. A.J. Dillon's about to come into the game and push this ball into the end zone. We couldn't have asked for a better time for this penalty to come up. I'm going to go ahead and go into a goal line formation. Pittsburgh, it looks like they are trying to be the Iron Curtain. And I think that we're going to be able to punch this in. A.J. Dillon is just... Oh my god. That dude just put the team on his back, literally, and just squatted into the end zone. That guy had a complete wide open shot off of the left edge. And A.J. Dillon said, I'll carry you, bro. Don't worry about me. All right, so here we go now. We're going to go back into a cover 4. Khalil Mack has the outside contain. We'll see how he does here. This could possibly be a run to the right, although it doesn't make sense to keep running the football when you're down 28-3. 28-3. Why does that score sound familiar? All right, so Khalil Mack's still got the flat route here. If they want to continue to run the football, by all means, like, do your thing, man. I'm not going to stop you. Josh Jacobs ends up stepping out of bounds to get a 2-yard gain on the play. Not ideal. I'm sending the house here on a man blitz. Probably not the best decision, but when you're up by a lot, you can go ahead and take some chances now and again. We end up coming up huge with a nice little pick there. A user pick, nonetheless, from Justin Simmons, who had a remarkable pick right there. We are going to go ahead and march into halftime here with a 28-3 lead. Couldn't ask for a better start in a divisional game that matters the most on this season. So, absolute putrid kick here. Kadarius Toney is going to take this out of the end zone, and he's going to have fantastic field position up to the 32. Couldn't ask for a better return, really, coming out of the half. So let's go ahead and try and bust the doors open right away with a passing play. I feel like if I put OBJ on a slant route, he could get open with Devante Parker running the streak. I think Devante Parker's going to be... Oh, that's just bad read. In my defense, man, I thought Devante Parker was going to... I don't know what I thought, actually. I'm just dumb. There's no good excuse for that. He's like being triple covered. Like, I don't know. There's no excuse for what I just did. We're going to go ahead and have Ndamukong Suh try and spin move. He gets a spin move, and that guy would be deceased. In the real world, like, if that guy gets wrapped up there in the middle of the field, he is on a gurney. Bro, come on. Don't do me like that. All right, Myles Garrett off the outside here. Go ahead and bull rush. Oh, my God. I went for a bull rush. He doesn't bull. They end up getting a first down, and they are knocking on the doorstep of the end zone here. So with this third reception of the game, A.J. Brown is doing his thing. So I'm going to go ahead and use her onto Khalil Mack. He looks like he's got the tight end off to the right-hand side who's coming in for a power block. I had to guess it's going to be a power run to the right, and it is. Khalil Mack shoots up the seam, absolutely stops Josh Jacobs in his tracks. What a read by Khalil Mack. That's why we user him, man. He has the ability to just... Look at him. He's got superstar X Factor. Let's go, baby. He's got the flat route here. Bang, dude! He just... just got on top of him and just started punching his face in. That's what you love to see out of Khalil Mack. This guy is a super talent. I hate to see that he's leaving Chicago in real life. He's one of my favorite players to watch. I actually have his jersey. In the Chicago Bears uniform. It sucks to see that, you know, like and down goes Justin Herbert. This is looking like a absolute knockdown brawl by our defense. Justin Herbert and his offense cannot seem to figure out. How close was I? Oh, I was millimeters away from getting that block. Oh my God, I thought I had it. That is so tough, man. Kadarius Toney's going to take this out. Probably to about the 40-ish. 29? Yuck. I thought for sure he could get a little bit more yardage on that play, but turns out he couldn't. All right, let's go ahead and run a mesh play and then check out of this. I kind of want to see what Raheem Mostert can do here on the left-hand side. He's probably just going to get right into a block. Does a nice little cutback, but Madden Animation, the lineman on my team just decided that they want to go ahead and help out the defense by tackling our running back for them. Nice little screen off to the right-hand side. Raheem Mostert's got space. He's going to cut back upfield. He's falling forward for the first down. Big Ben is on fire right now. I think he's only got 2 incompletions on the day. Hayden Hurst open on the left-hand side here. Let's go ahead and do a nice little juke move, bouncing off one defender there. And he is very close to a first down. We're going to go ahead and switch back up into a hurry-up offense with Raheem Mostert coming out of the backfield. He flips it back! I didn't even know there was a thing! Dude, my gut just dropped when I saw him turn around and pitch that football back. I legitimately almost pooped my pants. Seriously, that was ridiculous. I've never seen that before in my life. So I think OBJ might be open here. Can he get open? He's open. He's downfield. Big Ben with another pass completion. He is up to 160 yards on the day, but let's go, man. We're out here doing things. Raheem Mostert on a counter run could be the dagger to put this team ahead. Let's go ahead. He's got blockers. He's running up the gut. He's trying to bounce off a guy here and there. He's knocking on the doorstep of a 100-yard gain. He ended up losing a couple yards on that pitch back. So I didn't realize that he would have gotten the negative yards there. It does make sense because, I mean, it is, after all, a pitch. And so he did have possession of the football there. Hayden Hurst open up the middle. Come on, get up there. Get upfield, dog. Nice little catch and run there by Hayden Hurst. We're going to go ahead and check into a run up the gut. See if Raheem Mostert can power his way forward. He is on the doorstep, but just not able to get in. We are sitting pretty here. I'm going to go ahead and run Kadarius Toney on a motion route to the right-hand side. See if the defense, they are in a man or a zone coverage. So he doesn't even move at all. Running straight up the gut is Raheem Mostert for a touchdown. And the Cleveland Browns are absolutely decimating the Pittsburgh Steelers in this divisional showdown. So taking over on defense now, we are sitting at the 25. Khalil Mack still has his superstar X-Factor ability popped, so that is a good thing to see. He's got the outside contain. There might be a pass. There's not. Justin Herbert's got nowhere to go with that football, and my D-line is already in the backfield. Go ahead and switch over to Myles Garrett and see if we can do a nice little bull rush off to the left-hand side. He can't shed the block in time, but Josh Jacobs really has... Wow. He was able to get almost 10 yards on that carry. That was ridiculous. Gonna go ahead and use Myles Garrett here again and see if we can bull rush off this left-hand side. I kind of dig it, honestly. I feels like we might end up having another run, and it is, but it's not to Myles Garrett's side, so they end up getting the first down. Josh Jacobs is on the ground right now. Oh no. What happened to Josh Jacobs? He was like, that's one of those animations in Madden where like the guy's like really hurt. And, like he's not even getting up. Sometimes that could mean, you know, any number of things, but it's not looking good. Go ahead, and his forward progression might take him into the first down marker. Actually, it's not, which is kind of interesting. I would have thought that he would have for sure gotten that first down there, but you know, it's Madden, whatever. Going to be a run to the left, or if they're going to the weak side, then it makes sense. Bang! Let's go ahead and stop him. Please be short. And it looks like it is a 3rd and 1. Let's go ahead and run a man blitz here. I like our odds here. We have a ton of talent in our secondary as well as in our linebacking core. He's able to bounce to the outside there and end up getting the first down. 3 yards on the carry there by Williams. I want to say that's Darrell Williams out of either Darrell Williams or Damian Williams. Damian Williams is a Bear, and then Darrell Williams is a Colt, or not a Colt, what am I saying? A Chief. Pursuit, get to the outside. I think A.J. Brown actually scores that in real life. He is very fast. So I'm a little confused how we were able to even catch up there. It's kind of like what you take, you know? Khalil Mack. Oh, man, I thought I could time that up a little bit better. He's able to shut a block, and Khalil Mack's in the backfield, getting a nice little tackle there on Williams. I'm just going to continue to call him Williams for now because I don't know if it's Darrell or Damian at this point. 31 tells me right away that it's probably Damian Williams, but I don't know that for sure, and I don't want to just assume. What a breakup on the pass. I've seen that animation so many times go in the way of the receiver where they just hold on to the football. Hate to see it, love to see it, hate to see it, you know? Oh my God, he fell forward. Get there. Strip it out! Come on, man! Justin Simmons got to punch that ball through. Come on! Almost had a blocked field goal earlier in the game. Let's go ahead and see if we can get around to the outside. I don't think so. Kind of got cut up a little bit there and didn't have quite as good of a jump. 75 out here doing keels, bro. Let's go. Load this up with keels in the shower. Kadarius Toney taking this at about the 4-yard line, running straight up the gut and then cutting back up a little bit upfield. He's going to be right around the 32. He is at the 32. Let's go ahead and take over with the football. 35-14. 13. This game is definitely ours to lose. It's possible, unlikely, but it's possible. So you got to take care of the football, man. Oh, Raheem Mostert, can he get to the outside? He could go all the way. 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Raheem Morris. Raheem Mostert. Why do I keep saying Morris? What a touchdown by Raheem Mostert. This guy is electric out of the backfield. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get to the outside. That was just a piss poor pursuit route by the DB there. And Raheem Mostert made him play. Or made him pay. Wow, we end up jumping up to a 42-13 lead. This is a very bad kick by me. I was kind of excited. It still ends up being about a touchback. If he ends up taking it out, good for him. But if not, great for us. They take over here at the 25-yard line. So yeah, I mean that is a backbreaker for this Pittsburgh Steelers team. You cannot go up against a Cleveland defense who is literally like just owning the NFL right now. They are the main reason why we're able to be 7-0, honestly. There's a lot of games where my offense was not that great and our defense got big picks or scooping scores, and they ended up making these games like go straight into our favor. So having Raheem Mostert come out there, one play, 68 yards to the house, couldn't have asked for a better time for that to happen. Go ahead and use our Woodyard here. Woodyard is, of course, substituting in for the broken finger of Dante Hightower, who, I mean, come on, man. Get out there. You know what I'm saying? I could have probably been able to pick that had I had Dante Hightower out there, but yeah, it's tough. It looks like we're going to get a false start out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love that, man. I love freebies. Here we are at a 2nd and 6. Myles Garrett on the left edge here. Let's go ahead and see if he can bull rush. Finally! Bang! Go ahead and get a nice little truck stick there by Shaq Thompson. Dude is electric on the outside. I'm going to go ahead and use her on him. I feel good right now. Feel like I could do anything. Go ahead and cover that route. Very good coverage there. And who else but Myles Garrett getting to the quarterback with a sack. This guy is going to be the defensive player of the year. Try and at me. Holy cow, I can't believe they're even going for this. I'm going to contact onto Adrian Amos, contact user. Adrian Amos, he could get beat in the secondary, so I bounce off. He ends up getting a hand in there. Is it broken up, or is that a first down? I still can't tell. We end up getting the breakup on the pass, and we take over on downs. With 4 minutes left in this game, this thing is all but over at this point. Let's go ahead and run with Raheem Mostert up again. He's bouncing off, guys. He is... Oh, no. David Bakhtiari just got injured. I don't know what the injury is. I have to wait and see on the update. I really don't like seeing that, though. He is a 95 overall left tackle. He is the straw that stirs the drink on this offensive line. I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. David Bakhtiari is one of the guys that I targeted in the draft of the redraft. You know, he's... Okay, so Bruce Shoulder, we're actually okay there. I'm going to go ahead and substitute in Jason Peters. This game is out of reach right now, rather, from the Pittsburgh Steelers, so it doesn't make any sense to go ahead and risk a re-aggravation there out of David Bakhtiari. Raheem Mostert's still in the game. I think I'm going to try and switch up the play calls to run more of a power with A.J. Dillon. I feel like that guy is more of a workhorse than Raheem Mostert, who has had a history with injuries in the NFL. In reality, in the first game this season, he ended up getting hurt and missing the entire NFL season. So, yeah, it's hard to watch a guy like that struggle with injuries time and time again. But we're running the ball on 4th and 5, which I didn't even realize that it was 4th down there. We get a holding penalty, so it's not going to matter, I guess. But Buddy Johnson, that's a name. I have no idea who that is. I think we're going to go ahead and go for it. Why not? It's 42-13. Worst case scenario, they take over on downs here at about the 29-yard line. Go ahead and run our favorite play. Do it for the fans. Okay, he could get open. He might be open in the back of the end zone. Get 2 feet down. OBJ comes down with it, and it's another touchdown. The dog pound is barking. We extend our lead to a 49-13 lead over the second in the division, Pittsburgh Steelers. This one is getting ugly in a hurry. Time and time again, we go back to our old reliable play. Let OBJ use his speed on the deep threat there, get 2 feet in, and he's got another touchdown to add to it. I think that's his 6th receiving touchdown of the season thus far. We are just outside the 2-minute warning here in what is a 36-point deficit game. Myles Garrett damn near intercepted that football. I feel like in real life, he just sticks one hand up, grabs it. After all, he is the first overall draft pick of the 18 draft? 2017? I don't know. But he was first overall draft pick. And that came at a time when they were like 0-16 or whatever, and they had like all these first round draft picks coming out. So for them to like pick Myles Garrett, a defensive end, was kind of a mind-boggling thing. But the guy is a physical specimen. He is a game changer. So it all worked out, thankfully. But taking a defensive end first overall when you were 0-16, big of a risk take. But here we go. Nice little user pick there. We user on to Justin Simmons, who ends up getting the interception. That's his 2nd of the game. We take over here on downs. We're going to go ahead and run into a weak formation and do a halfback gut up the middle with A.J. Dillon and just try and run this clock down. A.J. Dillon cuts off. He bounces forward for an 8-yard gain, I want to say. He is rumbling, tumbling, fumbling. That guy's not fumbling. But here we go. A.J. Dillon cutting back upfield. He ends up getting the first down. This game is over. Go ahead and run a nice little slant. Put OBJ on a streak. That DB is taking his time getting over there. OBJ might fly right by him. I don't like it, though. Go ahead and hit, I want to say, Devante Parker on that nice little slant route. We're going to go ahead and run a toss to the weak side here. Catching the defense off guard a little bit. Running it back upside. A.J. Dillon is up the middle there for a nice little 7-yard gain. We're going to go ahead and run back to the halfback gut. And we're going to punch this forward for a nice little first down and then some. We are sitting on the outside of the 6-yard line. Let's go ahead and see if I can get a nice little play action pass out here to the outside and get OBJ his another touchdown. OBJ could be open. I can't tell. Come back to the football. Oh, man, that would have been something. But that is going to do it here in Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns end up taking this one 49-13 over the second in the division, Pittsburgh Steelers. I thought this game was going to be way closer than what it turned out to be. But yeah, Big Ben ended up showing out for the team. I'll go over that just here in a little bit, talking about his comparison. So Justin Herbert completed 70.3% of his passes for 173 yards and a touchdown. Big Ben on the other side of the football ended up doing 83.3 pass percentage and a 235 yards for a more efficient 3 touchdowns on the day. Raheem Mostert, though, that is the storyline here. 24 carries, 178 yards on the ground, and I think a pair of touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. But OBJ, 4 for 104. It's nice to see him get back involved in our offense. Devante Parker has been this guy for us the whole season, where he just comes in for 1 or 2 receptions and then just kind of goes silent once again. But that's going to do it for this game. Let's go ahead and jump back over to our main menu. So popping back over here after today's game, we see that we have one new injury where it says that we have Ed Oliver with a dislocated elbow. He has a 2-week timeline. It looks like we are still 2 weeks out on Alex Mack, but we should be getting Deontay Hightower back next week. And let's go ahead and answer the media question before we cut today's video. At 8-0, do you feel like this is the best team in the NFL? I don't know, Jonathan. What do you think? Even if I say we're the best right now, it's not right now when it matters. We'll get to the playoffs and go from there. At this point, I would be supremely disappointed if we don't go deep into the playoffs, so that should tell you where I think we rank. And then the last one is... My controller just like see that for a sec. And the last one is we're the best team in the NFL. But to prove that, we need to get to the Super Bowl and win. How cocky do I want to be? I'm going to say right here. Yep. Team popularity per win plus win percentage, per loss negative 5%. So we got to win, boy. Let's go ahead and take a quick sneak peek preview at our next week game against the Cincinnati Bengals. In next week's Battle of Ohio, we are facing the worst human in the world, Aaron Rodgers, and Keenan Allen, with Rodney Hudson, Wyatt Teller, Kenny Moore, Robert Woods, Davion Clowney, Trey Hendrickson, who is actually on the Bengals in real life, Brian O'Neill, Chris Harris Jr., Linval Joseph, Trez Wide. Oh my God, dude. What is this team's record? Holy cow, are they stacked? I need to see what this give me a minute here. I need to see what the record is of the Cincinnati Bengals here. Really? The Bengals are 4-3. 20-28, 26-38, 7-23, and 24-27. Man, oh man. But you know what? Aaron Rodgers still having fun against the Bears, so that's always cool, right? To say that Aaron Rodgers would lose to the Vikings and the Lions in the same season, holy cow, would that be such a freaking nightmare for him. But I think that we have a really tough matchup next week. Talent-wise, the Bengals might be the most talented team that we've faced thus far. But that's going to do it for today's video. As always, if you like today's content, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Helps out the channel a ton. And I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!